Hey guys, Reyfar here, and this is gonna be a lame one-person all for Awoo. Mostly because I've been a little bit busy doing things that aren't just reading. And I sort of didn't, and then got a bit lazy with recording last week, and then now I'm just like, oh fuck, I need to do it. I'll never do it. So, I want to talk a bit about Pyrostinger's works in particular. I've always been some sort of, I don't know, weird background for not for fan of him ever since when he used to write into Unshaved years and years and years ago now, and for whatever reason, aside from his story in X, which was gorgeous, I hadn't really read much of him, and then because I followed him on Twitter when I started getting the Twitter game years ago, and I followed him other places, and I didn't really do much from it. And then I don't know, he was just popping up more on my feeds and whatever, and I'm like, I should check out his works because I've always liked him, at least as much as I know as a random on the internet. So yes, I read a couple of his stories. So I've read pretty much. So I've read, yeah, obviously the story in X, Claw the Way to Victory, which I'll go into these after, and I've read, what was it? The eponymous androgynous robot fox story, which I still haven't listened to the podcast or whatever that it's to do with, and I read his most recent story on So Fairy Partner Swap. I'm pretty sure it was. And yeah, they were really, really fun. Like, I think, what was it? Yeah, my favourite story is probably the one in Claw the Way to Victory, which I guess I'll go into, which I actually have a physical copy. I'll just have me, I guess, which I have a physical copy of. I quite like this one. I do really need to actually read all the other stories in this. Like, I've read a couple here and there, mostly because of the authors I liked, but I really love the anthology. Like, I keep going back, I'm like, this is really good, this is really cool. And so yeah, it's edited by Anthro Aquatic, so which I think he's done other stuff, and I keep forgetting they're not Gold anymore, they're the Anthro New Press or something. I would need to actually check that out. But they're whatever they are now. Yeah, so I actually love this story. So it followed was it a cougar or a bobcat? Like, I keep thinking they're the same thing, which is probably why I get them mixed up. Oops. He's a puma. Does he have a name? I don't think he has a name because it's all like a tight perspective on him, on himself, like all his thoughts. And he's lining up. So he's like a. See, I don't know anything about baseball, so I don't even know where to begin. But he's not a tippy top player, and he's not a very bottom player. Like, he's kind of decent in the middle, and he's doing this sort of he's leading up to this sort of important play where he hits the ball. And I quite like how just low-key and grounded the story is, especially with the Puma character where we have and his thoughts about it, where he's like, he's talking about how like it'd be fucking amazing if he hits the home run and he scores the big thing and everyone runs down the field and carries them up and the full fanfare, and but like he's realist about it. Like, he just needs to get somewhere far out into the outfield to get for their runner to get next base or something, like, or make it home or something like that. Like a very kind of just a standard play to win it. Like, not. And yeah, like, it's really, really cool. Like, I actually absolutely adored it. I loved a lot of the quips about I think it's 6-year-old me. Pretty sure it was 6-year-old me. He's like, yeah. There's one line where, 6-year-old is like talking about how he's playing with these great people, and he's like, 6-year-old me was like fanboy and whatever, and he's like, I gave 6-year-old me ice cream and shut him up. That was actually a really fun line. I quite liked that. But no, it's an absolutely adorable story. And I really, really loved it. And obviously it does end, he completes it, like he gets what he was aiming for, and it's pretty cool. And I liked a little bit like it's I liked it. So the other story I read was the androgynous robot fox one, which is very funny and pretty cute, and it's mostly just a blowjob, but it's more funny and humorous and kind of, I wouldn't say quaint, but like, I don't know, do they still do like credit card installment payments? Like, that's why I'm thinking it's quaint. You know, when you see on TV, it's like the album collections, like songs of the 70s and knives and ShamWow and stuff like that. They probably do. Yes, it's really cool. The other one I read was Partner Swap, and I think that was just a free, wasn't it? Yeah, and I was gonna read the one in X, but I didn't. And Partner Swap, which was his latest one, which is actually pretty fun. So it's obviously these two couples. They're basically two couples, and they're both really good friends of each other, and they set up having a night where they swap partners and they fuck each other's partners, and it's very again a very grounded and adult story in terms of, like, you know, adults talking about it and dealing with it and enjoying it in a proper way that adults would, and not just like and obviously not in a kind of throwaway, like, oh, you know, swap partners and quips and shit about each other's equipment and really put someone down. But no, it was really respectful to everyone, and in terms of a story, I actually really, really enjoyed it. I quite like the species pairs that had going on. Like, obviously, it's foxes and otters, the two couples. So it's two otter girls. Yeah, the two otter girls went to college together. One's a giant sea otter, and the other one I think was like a river otter or something. I'm not good with otters. But like when I read giant sea otter, I was just thinking, like, is she like macro? I had that in my head for like a paragraph, and I'm like, no, she's not macro. She's just a giant sea otter. And obviously their partners, their boyfriends, two foxes. One's a red fox and the other one's a pampas fox, which I read it, I'm like, what the fuck is a pampas fox? And I looked it up and I'm like, oh, that's a cool fox. It's looks a bit like a grey fox kind of thing. I'm like, there's so many foxes in the world. So I thought that would tickle me. Like, hey, another species I didn't know existed. It was pretty cool. It's pretty hot. I liked there's some size play going on there. Like, not extravagant, but cool. It's pretty hot. I really like the character work in it. There was, oh my god, I forgot it. There was something else to talk about, and then in the comments, someone brought it up, and then Pyrostinger replied to the comment and brought it up. So, that. I'm drawing a blank right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, if you just read the comments on that story, after read the story, it'll all make sense. It was something about a relationship dynamic or something. I can't remember. I'm trying too hard at this point. So I'm pretty sure there's just the other two published stories. There's the one in the Rainforest adult anthology of 2015, which is out of print and probably very hard to find. I mean, I could probably ask him if I was. It sounds so mean to say if I was dying to read the story, but like it's. I feel like I've just shot myself in the foot here. But no, like I feel like I don't wish to go out of my way to harass an author to read a story that, there's plenty of other stories I can read that are probably just as great. That are just as great. There we go. And yeah, the one in X, which I did want to read, but I have fond memories of it. Vaguely, I remember it's a brother and sister tale. They ran away from home and they're being put up by this mistress. And I want to go back now I'm older and not so stupid and actually really look at the depth that Pyrostinger put in there. But I think I'll save that for when I do have time to go back and do X as a whole, because I really like the anthology. I think, I love all the stories except the last one, because that's just more me. In terms of more stories I like, I feel like that last one's like product of its time. You don't see it much these days, really. Stories like that, and I think, no one really knows who that author was. Was it BC Korea? I think that was their name. I tried looking into it. I couldn't find anything. I think I talked to someone. This was years ago, and they weren't sure either. Like, I'm sure I could shoot an email at Kyle Gold, because he was the editor, and say, who's this person? Like, what are they still writing these days? But maybe it should be less left to time. Ooh. And so that was it. Quick one, kind of quick one here. I just wanted to talk a bit about Pyrostinger. Like, I've been a sort of back end fan for years, and just really wanted to dive into his stuff. I noticed he submitted to Heat. All the best. I'd love to see if he gets in. I'd love to see that story. But I'm pretty sure there's so many fantastic stories going in. So I'm pretty excited to see him publish more in the future. Obviously there might have been rough periods because there's a bit of a gap in the last couple of years, and then kind of before that, if you look at when X was released in 2015. And there's a lot of, I think, if I really wanted to be like Snoopy, I could match up a graph of the posts on his So Very, but then, that's just fucking rude, really. But no, I do really want to see his work more in the future, because actually I really enjoy it. He's one of those authors where it's like, someone walks into the room like, hey, raucous applause. Like, every time I see Pyrostinger's name kind of popping up in the fur community, I'm like, hey! Like, I really want to see him more, because I love him. I really do love his work. I'm very hoping to go to America again next year. I'm aiming for AC, because I think it's probably the best one to meet as many authors as I can. As much as I'd love to go to Texas again, Texas Fur Fiesta. I just think with the limited times, I reckon I can make it to America. I think I'd best spent wisely. I do really want to meet him at some point in my life, get him to sign a few things, tell him in person how cool of a writer I think he is, even though I'm probably not the greatest fan, but I'm always the biggest fanboy, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so check out his stuff again in Clawed Away the Fig Tree, X, and what was the third one? I just forgot it. Look it up. Holidays, that's right. Oh yeah, Holidays. That is an anthology I don't have. I don't know if I will get it. Like, I mean, there's so many anthologies I don't have. Many I need to read. And it's one of those ones I kind of forgot about. Like, the editors are good. It's done by Ciani and Ajax. But I don't know. It's just one of those ones we just haven't heard much from. And I'm not saying anything. So I've been. Oh fuck. It's okay. So I should probably get Holidays as an ebook from Bad Dog Books, just to read Pyrostinger's story. So it'll be great. So anyway, I've been Reyfar, and I'll catch you guys later.